Good evening, everybody. Good evening, world. Good evening, Nigeria. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be watching me from this time. This is evening in Nigeria, precisely some minutes before 6 p.m. I'm here to say one or two things about what people have been talking about in the past 2 days. And I think, I want to air my opinion and say something about it because I've noticed that this is Africa. Of course, we are Africans and we cannot take away the fact that we are Africans. We have our peculiar way of doing things. However, there are some things I've noticed over the years which I think is affecting the growth of businesses, the growth of even individuals, because we don't want to offend people. We don't want people to see us as bad child or as bad children or as a wicked individual. And some people have gone to some length of making themselves uncomfortable to make some other people comfortable, and at the end of the day it wrecks them. It affects them in many ways. And what I'm going to talk about here is about DAAR Communication PLC. We know that very well. The owner of Ray Power, AIT, Africa Independent Television, you know that very well. Ray Power and Faji FM. Of course, we know AIT of those days with fantastic programs all across board, especially Kakaki, the Voice of Africa. And we know that at some point in time there was a downturn for the company, for the radio station, for the TV station, even for Faji FM. It affected them in many ways. A lot of things happened. We all know that Chief Doctor Raymond Dokpesi of blessed memory was a politician in his days and a PDP staunch, in fact, a big figure in the People's Democratic Party in Nigeria, PDP. You know how Nigeria operates. A lot of things happen. Once you are not with a political party, there will surely be problems with you if care is not taken, if you don't mind the business, And this is a television station, radio stations, that you have no option than to talk about what is happening in the country, But this is Nigeria. If you talk too much, they deal with you. And I think some things happened to the company at some point in time, which we also, they were evident. The company was no longer being on the same level with other companies like Channels Television, TVC, even Arise that came how many years ago. When you're mentioning Arise, you're mentioning AIT. I'm sure a lot of people want to watch Arise instead of AIT. So of recent, about 2 days ago, there was a press release or a communique released by the company DAAR Communication PLC. And you know that since the demise of Chief Raymond Dokpesi about 1 year ago, and so about 2 years ago, if I'm not, I can't pick the particular year now, but I think he died last year, or 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I think. And since that time, there must surely be change in the governing council of the company DAAR Communication PLC. And the word PLC is not just anyhow, And for me, I feel the news that broke about 2 days ago, sacking about 6 or more than 6 directors in the company. People have taken to the social media to talk down on Raymond Dokpesi Jr., saying that he has done what is not right for sacking his father's wife, his stepmothers, and all that. And I think I need to air my opinion on this one. As I said earlier, this is one of those things affecting the country, the growth of individuals and some companies as well. We need to understand something, that DAAR Communication is not just owned by one person. It is a share company. So we have shareholders, and even I've read some comments of some individuals who say that they have shares there and they have not even received any dividend over the years. And you and I, we know that DAAR Communication, AIT, Ray Power is not where it used to be, or they are not where they used to be. We should know, or we all know that one, except we want to pretend. And nobody would pray that their business continue to go, on the downturn. Nobody will pray for that. So everybody wants their company to grow, their business to move forward. They want development for them in all ways. And, I think for me, in my opinion, I love what Mr. Raymond Dokpesi Jr., what he did. There is something that we need to understand. Firstly, in the sacking, he said, number one, it has to be with aligning with the regulatory requirements for growth of the company. So it is regulatory requirement. And what do we mean by regulatory requirement? Every company have their policies. Okay, in DAAR Communication, their directors can work for about they can be directors for 2 terms, 5 years for each term. That is 10 years. And from what we heard from Mr. Junior, he said, Mr. Junior Dokpesi, let me call him his full name, Mr. Junior Dokpesi, he said that some directors have been there for 22 years, some for 27 years, and they have gotten to the retirement age. They know their retirement age in their company. You know, some companies have their own different policy. But for DAAR Communication, I think once people have gotten to the level, whatever is done, in as much as it aligns with the policies of the company, I don't think people should take it like, oh, you are stepping down your stepmothers, you are not a good child, you are this, you are that, let's see how you're going to. See, truth of the matter is this, Mr. Junior Dokpesi, I don't know him from anywhere. I don't know him, though I'm a journalist, but I've never met him in my life. When I even saw the news, I didn't even know he was the one in charge. So when I saw the news, I was like, well, this is something I need to say something about, because some people are being, misled, some people churning out some kind of false or some, I don't want to put it now, awkward, opinion. Well, I'm sorry if it sounds somehow. To me, it sounds awkward. However, I respect people's opinion. Now, Mr. Junior mentioned that some people have been there for 22 years as directors. Some have been there for 27 years as directors. And among those people mentioned are Mr. Ambrose Shomide, a very popular figure in the media world. We have Anthony Uya, the likes of Pauline, Ubodaga, Mary Lawrence Dokpesi, one of them, Mrs. Oluwatosin Dokpesi, Tony Akiotu, and the rest. They are all mentioned. And in all honesty, we have to ask ourselves a big question. Has the guy done something right or wrong? People said he has done wrong. For me, he has done right, because he made mention of him following the regulatory requirement. And there is something we need to also understand. In life, in your business, there are times that you have to take some drastic measures. There's times you have to take some decisions that, in as much as they may not go down or sit down well with some people, you have to take it for the growth of the company. And I'm seeing a very, vibrant, agile young man, which I feel is definitely, he's got some deep understanding, deep knowledge of this industry, and he knows what he wants. He has his vision for the company. Maybe when father was alive, because he made mention of it, that this decision ought to have been taken about 6-7 years ago. Probably when Baba was alive, for the father, Baba was in charge. He had those things in his mind. He must have told Baba, oh, Dad, let's do this, let's do this. And for the man, Chief Dokpesi was, people know him to be a very good man. I don't have a relationship with him. I've never met him one-on-one, although I met him from far distance, because I covered Edo election in 2020, and I saw him at his polling unit, but I've never had one-on-one conversation with him. So what I'm going to say here is this: Mr. Junior Dokpesi must have been telling his father, or must have been, pointing out to the father, oh, there is a need for us to make some changes and all that. And take a look at the world, the media world now. It is evolving. A lot is happening. The old ones, yeah, some old ones are still doing fine, fantastically well. We cannot do without them. Yes, we need their experience. We also will get old one day. That one day, very, very sure, right? But at the same time, if an old man is not, in tandem with the trending, stuff, I'm afraid such would lose their job. And these people we are talking about, you cannot be working for a multinational company, and you have been there as a director for over 20 years, and you want to remain in such position. These people also should know that, oh, there is a need for us to bring in fresh blood if truly they want, progress for the company. Because the truth of the matter is, there is no how they want to say, okay, we are still there, we still know what is happening, we are still, in line with what is trending. I'm sure that injection of fresh young blood would definitely bring about, the rising of DAAR Communication and the AIT that we used to know that people, some people don't even tune into AIT. I can't remember the last time I watched AIT. That's the truth. I can't remember the last time I watched AIT, although I don't watch TV like that. But if I want to watch television, I can't remember the last time I watched AIT. I can't even point to one on-air personality there, because I don't watch them any longer. But I'm very sure that with what Mr. Junior Dokpesi have in mind, it's going to bring about a lot of massive improvement to the station. And I'm sure that even those people who are being retired now, they will also come back and say, oh, son, you've done massively well. For me, there's nothing wrong in what he has done. And according to what we were told from the release, made available, we were told that 31st of October. So they still have about 2 months, and I'm sure that they are going to be giving befitting farewell. And another thing people have not even asked is this: after the retirement of these people, what next? Probably Mr. Dokpesi Jr., you never can say. He must have gotten some kind of position for them. Probably a board of, trustee, something like that could be in his mind. But, for great men, even myself, I want to do some things, I wouldn't come out to tell you. I will take my decision. If you're not okay with this, if you like, you abuse me, you do whatever you want to do, yeah, you move on. Then I will know that, oh, you actually have your own personal interest at heart. I believe that by now, Mr. Dokpesi Jr. would have been drafting some things, probably some roles, advisory roles, board of trustee, to have these men, because their experience and these women, their experiences, you can never buy it in the market. You need it big time. They are veterans. They've been in the business for a long time. They have connection. They have, everything is there for them. So people, I want to plead that we should take it easy on Mr. Dokpesi Jr. He hasn't done anything bad. He hasn't killed anybody. He's only looking for a way to grow his company. And if you want to know how to grow a company, own your own company. And when people are there for over 10 years, keep them to remain there. Go against your own company's policy. Go against regulatory requirement. When you have a PLC, when you have shareholders who are telling you to do something, they are suggesting, and you are also, trying to juxtapose, trying to weigh, their options, and you feel they are okay, please don't answer them. Do things unilaterally and just take decision as you like. And you would see that what Mr. Dokpesi Jr. has done now is the right way to go. Because some of you, because probably you have not even known a business before, you don't even know how to run things and all that, you feel this is where you can just talk about and just lambast people. So for me, what Mr. Dokpesi Jr. has done, retiring 6 executive directors, in that communication company, is not a bad thing. He said he has only followed the rule books. They have been there for more than the stipulated time. So what he has done is massive. Let us only wish him the best in his decision that he had made, and let's hope to see a great turnaround for DAAR Communication in this. I want to see AIT, at the top again. It is not my company. I'm not even related to them, but I want to see, because this is what we all grew up watching. I wouldn't know for some other generation, but my generation, I grew up watching AIT, African Independent Television, AIT, DAAR Communication. Never mind my voice, but I'm just trying to say, the joy we derive in watching AIT back then, especially those of us who are sport lovers, watching the likes of Mr. Mitchell Obi, Mr. Godwin Phipps Agbama of blessed memory, Mr. Ejiri Omonode, Mrs. Aisha Falode, and Mr. Tunde Orebi, a lot of them like that, in sport world. So we know what we experienced back then, and we want them to also fall in line with what is trending now. They should be on the same level with Arise, with channels, with TVC. They shouldn't be, like they are one ancestral or one ancient, station. They should move. And I want to thank God for the life of Mr. Dokpesi Jr. And I pray for him that he's going to excel. I wish him all the best. I wish him, I wish DAAR Communication best. And I want them to grow. So I can also learn from this one and also grow my own business, in the future. I'm also into the media world. But and I feel that this is a step I would also take if I were in his shoe. So that is my just opinion, my simple opinion, and I want to advise everybody who have been saying one or two things about this man, that please just let him be. It is his father's company, and he is the chairperson now. Let him do whatever pleases him to grow the company. Let's not take it too personal. Let's not make it like he has done what has never been done before. The issue of his stepmother, no, she can take care of them in some other ways, but their services are no longer needed in the company. They should leave, and that, I think, shouldn't cause any uproar. So this is my simple thought. This is my simple view. My name is Ayola Adeleke. Watch me on next episode of Trending Issue in Nigeria. Thank you very much. Arrivederci.